Okay, YouTube, how's it going? I'm Xatar the Exterminator, presenting another battle. Now, I've done many videos on the Celestials. I do enjoy the Celestials. They're some of my favorite Marvel comic book characters of all time. They're very interesting, mysterious, and not a lot is known about them. So I thought I'd do a battle on the fourth host versus the Promial Gods, along with Galactus. Now, the Promial Gods were introduced in the Annihilation series, and they're basically as old as practically the universe itself. The Promial Gods there's 5 of them, or 5 worth mentioning. They've only mentioned like 5. There's some in the background of the picture, but they really haven't revealed who they are. They've only been in a very few issues, and then I'm going to have Galactus along the team with them just for extra firepower. Now, starting with the Promial Gods. On the very top, you have the Watcher-looking guy, and his name is... How to write these down because they're kind of complicated. Antiphon. And he's basically, in a way, the first Watcher. He was basically the overseer of the universe, watching it, and that's basically all he did, just like a Watcher. And all 5 of these guys, not really the Watcher, Antiphon, but the other 4, Brio, Aegeus, Tenebrous, and at the very bottom, the blue guy, Diablerie. They all, at the very beginning, basically at the beginning of the universe, they waged war on Galactus. And they all fought Galactus. They lost. Now, this is when Galactus was at the peak of his most powerful, because he had to feed on less planets at a time, because at the beginning of the universe, because as time goes on, he has to keep feeding on more and more planets to sustain his hunger. So at the beginning of the universe, it was probably arguably to say he was more powerful due to the fact that he had to feed on less planets, and he was more fully fed. And when Galactus is fully fed, he basically is supposed to rival the power of eternity. So at the beginning of the universe, he was probably more powerful, and they waged war on him, and they fought, and he did beat them. Aegeus, Tenebrous, and Antiphon, the Watcher, they were imprisoned, and in a prison near the Crunch called the Kiln. They're like big, huge prisons, basically, for cosmic beings. They were all put in there. Brio, the very top one, the golden-looking one, not next to Aegeus, kind of the non-shiny one, was killed in battle along with Diablerie. They both were killed by Galactus, and the rest were put in prison. Now, starting with each one, so the first Watcher, Antiphon, he has vast amounts of cosmic powers. He can basically kind of do whatever he wants with his cosmic powers, manipulate, absorb, slight, like, reality-altering powers. Now, not a lot of information is about them, or the Celestials either, of course. You know, not a lot is known about any of them. Galactus is the most well known. But since but even though the Antiphon, the first Watcher, he is the weakest out of their team, when he was also found dead when Aegeus and Tenebrous escaped the prison during the Annihilation, when the Annihilation wave destroyed the prisons and they were released. Antiphon was found dead by Aegeus and Tenebrous, and they even said that he was the weakest out of the Promial Gods. But then we got Brio, who is supposedly also the first Celestial. So if this is true, it basically predates these Celestials, the fourth host. Who knows by how long, but it was supposedly the first Celestial, and basically has the same powers as a Celestial. So it could be very on even footings with these Celestials. Then we got Diablerie. They have complex names, it seems like. He basically, I believe, led the Promial Gods against the fight against Galactus. He was probably one of the most powerful out of all of them. he basically all of them kept the balance in the universe basically. Then and he does have basically the power cosmic, and again they can do vast amounts of huge amounts of cosmic energy manipulation, all these kinds of things. Now it's hard to gauge their power levels since they've only been in very, very few issues, but it's also hard to gauge the fourth host also on their power levels, so I thought it'd be interesting to do this battle. Now if Galactus was truly more powerful at the beginning of the universe, they're probably pretty strong. I mean, if they're able to fight an eternity level being and probably put up a good fight and fail, they probably have a good chance against the fourth host. Now, of course, with Aegeus and Tenebrous, they can't stand Galactus. They are the last living of the Promial gods during the Annihilation Wave. Now, during the Annihilation series, Tenebrous fought Galactus on basically even footing. They're battling each other. Then Aegeus came in and basically just kind of one-shotted Galactus from behind and knocked him out. It's kind of a distraction. So they are more powerful. Both of them combined were more powerful than Galactus. Each one is supposed to rival Galactus now. So it's going to be these 6 against the fourth host. Now the fourth host, I'm going from left to right. We got Hargan the Measurer, Tefral the Surveyor, Nazar the Calculator, Hargan the Gammonon the Gatherer, Arashim the Judge, Jemiah the Analyzer, Esam the Searcher, Oneg the Prober, and Xeron the Tester. Now, I did do a Xeron the Tester and Galactus battle, and Galactus became victorious in that battle, and I would say a very close battle between them. I do believe out of some of these, Arashim and Xeron have more feats. They've been in, I do believe, more issues. Xeron was there during the Infinity Gauntlets, during the Aftermath, during the Infinity Watch series, during the first issue. And then, of course, Arashim has been there also during the Heart of the Universe. Actually, all the Celestials were there during the Heart of the Universe. The entire Celestial race were there. So, but of course, their powers, they possess near limitless range of various, like, cosmic power abilities. They do have reality warping powers. They could bend time and space to their will if they wanted to. You hardly see it. The Celestial, one above all, did it when Thor attacked him, and basically did absolutely nothing. He blocked his shot by basically using time and space to open up a rift portal and transport his attack somewhere else. Now, so it's going to be a tough battle for both sides. So, of course, the Celestials can shrug off planetary explosions with no problem. Probably galaxy-busting attacks as well from Odin, Vishnu, I do believe, another Skyfather, along with Zeus, couldn't harm a single Celestial. So it'd be an insane battle. Now, some of them, they basically all have the same abilities, but there's one ability that is different from all the others that we've seen. Nazar the Calculator, the blue guy on the left, the third one, he actually can create illusions, realistic illusions. In one of the Eternal comics, I think the Russians fired nukes at Nazar the Calculator, and they were watching the screen, and he just looked at it, and the missile turned around, and as soon as it hit impact, it showed everything explode. But it was actually all an illusion, and then in the next panel, it showed everyone died of a fatal, like, heart attack from basically just their adrenaline rushing so bad they thought they were going to get nuked, but it was all a complete illusion. So it could be possible that he can use illusions to to winning a battle. Who knows? They can, whatever he can think of. They were probably all smarter. I would go for intelligence. The fourth host probably has the intelligence. Galactus is extremely smart, but against these Celestials, the fourth host specifically, I think their intelligence outclasses the Proemial gods. But when it comes to abilities, it's very, very hard to decide, because the Celestials probably have around the same abilities. The Proemial gods probably have very vast different abilities, so probably like versatility-wise, the Proemial gods probably have more wide range of different abilities. But When it comes to durability, it's very, very difficult since the Celestials haven't could basically can't die. They just you can, like the Celestials have said, you can't really kill a Celestial. You can only put it to sleep, which is pretty damn badass. But I would give them the probably durability or invulnerability possibly, due to the fact that if, like in Thor number 300, when Odin with the destroyer armor and the Odin sword cut off Nazar the Calculator's arm, it grew back instantaneously. So if they do get possibly damaged, they can probably just regenerate. When as the Promial Gods or Galactus, their energies are probably going to deplete. Galactus will probably start depleting, the fact that he's going to get hungry and he's going to start losing energy. Now the Promial Gods will probably just take damage and after damage and eventually probably just give out and probably just die. Now we've seen the Promial Gods die. The big Silver Surfer killed Aegeus and Tenebrous with the Big Crunch, the power that they use or to help drive their powers, and he killed them with their own power, so they can die. The Celestials will have a harder time dying. Let's just say that some of them have died. Zeron the Tester died during the Heart of the Universe battle, but that's when you had the Heart of the Universe. Galactus was amazed how he basically got destroyed, which says a lot about their durability. But this would probably be a really, really good battle. I chose this because they're both not as well. They're not as well known. The Promial Gods are not as well known whatsoever. They're more obscure than I would say the Celestials, and the Promial Gods have only been very, very, very few issues. But when it comes to a battle, it's going to be the fourth host. The fourth hosts, the Celestials would take this battle. It would be a very, very good battle, an interesting battle. The Proemial Gods would put up a hell of a fight. But the first one would fall would be Antiphon, the Overseer, the first Watcher. He would fall first, since due to the fact that plus he doesn't really fight, and if he could fight, he'd be badass, but he is the weakest out of the six. So once they lose that, it's going to be tough. Then the next one would probably be Brio, probably the first Celestial. Once if they fought on even ground, it would Brio and the other Celestials, it would probably be just about even. But plus you got others more than you got 9 Celestials probably against 2 or 1 of Brio, so it's going to go down by sheer numbers on this point. Then it'll just be Galactus, Diablerie, Aegeus, and Tenebrous. Then of course I believe that it's hard to decide who would go down last. Most likely it would be down to Diablerie and Galactus would be the last one standing, and it's hard to say who would go from there. It would most likely be Galactus due to the fact that he was the last one during the Thanos Imperative to stay in the game against the Galactus engine. It's hard to say if the other Celestials died or fled, but he was the last one there. Galactus doesn't really give up. If he needs to do something, he's going to get it done, but eventually he will fall. I'm kind of almost convinced that Arashim will just be standing on his pedestal the entire time while the other fourth host members just fight the battle for him. If they manage to get defeated, there probably be one of the Promial Gods or Galactus left, and Arashim will just come in and probably finish the job. So that is my battle review on the Promial Gods with Galactus versus the fourth host. My next video I'll probably be doing a Marvel vs. DC battle, so comment, subscribe, like, and see you later.